Okay, we're gonna just keep going with a little bit of practice here with some quick videos. This is again on balancing equations. Again, we looked at this once. I'm just going to give you a little more practice to try. So in each of these, if you may, once you see the equation, if you want to pause it and try it yourself and then listen to my explanation, you can. Just remember, when we balance equations, we're going to work from left to right, balancing each element as we go. Once we make a change to something, though, it's a good idea to quickly run through it again to make sure that everything else still balances. When you do add something to an equation to balance it, you must add the whole molecule. That is key. Today's focus, we're really just on the balancing. It doesn't matter what the elements are called, or sorry, what the compounds are called, or even what type of reaction we have. I may mention that, but this practice is really just balancing the equations. So let's get started. Here we have a chemical equation that we're asked to balance. So we've read through the equation, and now we're just going to start making sure that we have the same number of each element in the products and the reactants. I'm going to start actually by separating that out. So I'm going to just kind of draw this line here and down through that arrow. So we have our reactants over here on the left, and we have our products over here on the right. Okay, and now it's really just about counting. Let's go ahead and count. So I'm starting with beryllium left to right. I have 2 berylliums. Over here I only have 1. So I need more beryllium. So let's add in more Be. But when you add it, you have to add the whole molecule. So I have to add the OH2 as well. Now I'm going to look back and just count. I have 2 berylliums, and now I have 2 berylliums. Let's move on. Carbon. There's just the 1, and there's just the 1 in my products. That one's balanced. Keep going. Here's my hydrogen. I have 2 hydrogens. Now this one's tricky because there's hydrogen in 2 different spots, and there's hydrogen as part of a polyatomic ion here. But our rule here is take the number outside the bracket and multiply it through. So there's actually 2 hydrogens here. And we added this one, so there's 2 more here. So we have 2, we have 4, and then now there's another 4 over in this compound. So there's actually 8 hydrogens altogether. Well, clearly I need more hydrogen in my reactants. I only have 2, so I need more hydrogen. Now I can't just add H6, I have to add H2O and keep adding H2O until I get to 8. Let's count it one more time. I have 2, 4, 6, 8. I have 2, 4, 8. So that looks good. Just double checking. 2 berylliums. 1 carbon, 1 carbon. I just said the 8 hydrogens and the 8 hydrogens. Let's go to oxygen. I have 1, but now I just added this, 2, 3, 4 hydrogens. Here's 4 oxygens, so 4 oxygens in my reactants and 4 in my product. I'm balanced. Once we've balanced it, now it's just a matter of writing the balanced equation. So I have 1 Be2C. I don't need to write the 1. I have 1, 2, 3, don't forget the one we started with, 4 of the water molecules producing. I have 2 of the BeOH2 and just the 1 of the CH4. Okay, let's try another one. All right, so here we have a much bigger chemical equation, but we're going to follow the same procedure. We're just going to be counting. So I'm going to start same way, split this up into my reactants and my products. All right, and we count. Now there's some polyatomic ions here that we're going to have to account for, and sometimes we can treat them all as one. Others we may have to kind of split them up a little bit. So I'm going to start with my hydrogen though. I have 2 hydrogens over here. Now I'm going to count this one as 4 more hydrogens. So I actually have 6 hydrogens. If I go to my product side, there's the only hydrogens I have. I only have 2 of them. So I need some more hydrogens in my product, and I have to add the whole molecule. So now I have 4. Now I have 6 hydrogens. 2, 4, 6 hydrogens. And in my reactants, 2, and in this little piece right here I have another 4, so 6 altogether. Hydrogens are balanced. How about this SO4? It's a polyatomic ion that I'm going to try and treat all as one thing. That's SO4, and over here I have SO4, but I have 2 of them. So I need more SO4 in my reactants. I need more SO4, but I can't just add SO4. I actually have to add H2SO4 altogether. So now I do have 2 SO4s, and I have 2 SO4s, so that looks good. Unfortunately, I've messed up my hydrogen a little bit. Always a good idea, once you do add something, especially if you add something that you've already counted, is to go back and do a quick recount. So if I do a quick recount of my hydrogens, 2, 4, 8 hydrogen, 2, 4, I only have 6 hydrogen, so I did mess up. I'm going to have to go back and add some more hydrogen over here to my products. Now I have 8. So I have 8 in my reactants, I have 8 in the products. I have 2 SO4s in the reactants, 2 SO4 in the product. Let's keep going. Lead, 1, 1. Perfect. Nothing needed to do there. Let's look at my oxygens. So I've accounted for this oxygen already when I talked about my SO4. So I'm not going to do that, but I need this oxygen right here. There's 4 oxygens here, along with the oxygen that's in the SO4. But now I have the SO4 accounted for. It's these 1, 2, 3. There are 4 oxygens there. So that actually balances. So we don't need to add anything else to this. We are done. Let's rewrite. I needed 2 of the H2SO4s. I only needed 1 of the PbOH. Let's fix that there. OH. 2s, and I'm making a lot of mistakes here. Let's try and rewrite that one. That's OH4. Okay, there we go. Producing 1 of the PbSO4 2s, and we have 1, 2, 3. Don't forget the one we started with. 4 H2Os, and we're balanced.